Mixed martial arts at its finest. Two of the best in a division ubiquitously regarded as the best in the sport. Islam Makachev, the -195 betting favorite to become a first-time UFC champion against the credentialed Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira, who's +165. Oliveira in yellow, Makachev in red. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Timex. Shop the full collection on Timex.com. Use code UFC280 for 20% off today and tomorrow.
Expect Oliveira to go forward.
Islam with a big left hand early.
It looked like he hurt him.
Nothing we haven't seen before, though.
You know Charles will get stunned, but keep fighting. The pressure of Oliveira. Oliveira takes him to the ground here. Now, Makachev said he would take him down here. Not many people are willing to play this game with Charles Oliveira. Islam said he is not afraid. But Do Bronx, as expected, starts to throw up submissions right away.
Oliveira's already been cut open for what it's worth.
Islam really trying to make sure he gets either both arms in or out here. Nice job.
Nice elbow from Oliveira off his back.
Oliveira's ground game is so good, he immediately puts you on the defensive.
Makachev working inside that tight closed guard of Oliveira. And it's not just the submissions, Paul, when we talk about that active guard of Charles Oliveira.
He will elbow you down there. He will elbow you. He will just keep swiveling those hips. He will threaten submissions and try to do damage from the bottom. But Islam already avoided that first triangle attempt, landed a big left hand to start things off. Makachev, this is where he wants to be. Charles invited him down.
Yeah, he did. Oliveira put himself in a position that Makachev said he wanted to be. But as you see there, Oliveira with the active guard. Makachev passes to half guard. Charles is going deep half sweep here.
Trying to get up. Nice job there from Oliveira. Look for the knees of Oliveira in the clinch. Very dangerous.
Great job there by Do Bronx. Getting back to his feet, using that leg lock attempt to get himself back up. Now he's got Makachev pressed against the side of the octagon.
Right in the corner of Makachev.
Herzog using his Brazilian Portuguese to tell Charles Oliveira that his hand off the top of the octagon and now taken down.
Nice step through there by Makachev. That wizard kick we talked about earlier.
And we said how important that would be, right, DC? So he doesn't have to shoot low. He doesn't have to put his neck into a vulnerable place against Oliveira.
With the speed at which that happened. Earlier we saw a couple labored wizard kicks. You got to attack that if you're going to try it. Now let's see what Oliveira does his approach as he's on his back again.
Under 2 minutes here to go round one. Khabib shouting instructions right there to his brother Makachev.
And you see Islam move Charles towards the corner where he can take the instructions. If Charles Oliveira stays here, it's because he wants to be here. He has so many skills off of his back to try to change the position. Islam stacking him. Got to make sure the hips are covered. You cannot allow someone as good as Do Bronx to get his hips off to the side. You got to keep him square.
And pushing him up against the cage is a smart approach. He can't move as much. He's got his head pressed in there. He can feel every motion coming from those hips. He knows what's happening. He knows if he's trying to swivel for an armbar or submission attempt at all.
And this doesn't deter Charles Oliveira. If you remember, Kevin Lee had a lot of success in round one on the ground against Do Bronx. So he will make the same attacks as the fight goes on.
Strong example right there coming down the stretch of round one. Jason Herzog, you can assure, will give them plenty of time to work here in these situations.
Yeah, these guys wanted to be down here. Charles invited him down, and Islam gracefully came down with him. Oh, big shots.
That's something you don't want. You don't want to just continuously be stuck under Islam Makachev. He's too good here. His base is so strong.
Makachev keeping that elbow on the chin of Oliveira. Now tries to posture up. Charles swivels a hip. Look to land an up kick.
He's down. Stop.
Round one done.
Hey, you over here. Don't touch him.
All right, look, this is that big left hand. Nice straight left. Right off the bat. Look at this. We talk a whole lot about Charles Oliveira's striking, and Islam comes out with a nice strike. There he gets a nice takedown, ends up right in half guard, right on top, and pressing Oliveira up against the fence, right in his own corner.
Front kick to the face, okay? You got him in the end. He's faulted, okay? What he wants is that game. When he's on top of you, don't get him come to you, okay? You're hurting him. Don't get him get close to you. Listen, you need to come up after him. Don't pressure him. Listen, you need to be more active. Do not let him be active. Okay, watch out on the ground. Okay, watch out.
All right, back to the live action. Round two of a possible 5. Charles Oliveira's corner looking for more output here at the outset of round 2.
Second round, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
Kind of feels like Khabib wants this one even more than his own championship wins. Investment doesn't even begin to describe it when it comes to Makachev's career and his involvement. Oh, another nice stick there by Makachev early round 2.
Oliveira right back on the pressure. Oliveira's corner said they want him to go. Front kick to the face. Don't allow Makachev to get close.
Charles trying to get his own takedown.
Look for Islam to try the inside trip to take Oliveira down. As he's in close, he will take that left leg inside to try to sweep him to his back. You know, this is something that is a little bit overlooked with Oliveira. When you're in tight, he just is jamming knees into your body. It may not look like it's doing much damage, but it really wears on his opponents as the fights go on.
Yeah. But Makachev has double underhooks here.
And he's got to try to manipulate Oliveira to take him down. Charles Oliveira, you cannot take down with singles because he's so dangerous and jumping on your neck. You got to try to trip him to knock him down.
We're about 6.5 minutes in DC. Despite the obvious skill sets in Oliveira's history, you kind of expected a longer fight tonight.
And a harder fight for both guys because of the matchup.
Good knee to the body there a moment ago from Charles Oliveira. Now back to the center of the octagon, under 3.5 in the round.
And as the fight goes longer, Oliveira will gain confidence, but Makachev is a good striker. I know he's not known for it, but he has tremendous stand-up skills.
Islam doing just fine on his feet, though, so far in this fight.
Yeah, but the longer he does that, the more Charles Oliveira feels good. Defending takedowns. And in that action there, against the side of the octagon, you saw that Du Bronx recognize this. Maybe this is not a fight that I want to be taking guard. Right? He's defended and stayed upright, opposed to going to his back.
Pretty good combination by Makachev there, partially blocked by Oliveira.
Head kick for Makachev.
Yeah, again, the guard raised for Oliveira, but still a rattle.
You could see Oliveira just slightly hesitant, knowing that Makachev is always going to try to close that distance if he stands too long and he doesn't like what he's seeing.
Charles is just not as reckless as he normally is when he's chasing guys down.
Yeah.
I think he's just aware of the takedowns coming in his direction.
I think Oliveira would do...
Knocked down from Makachev! Right into the left arm.
He's got to watch the arm triangle here. If Makachev can pass the guard, he's got the arm triangle. Oh, this is
Islam Makachev submits Charles Oliveira to win the title! Wow! What a way to stamp yourself the best in the world! Makachev submits the greatest finisher in UFC history. The belt on Makachev, as we have said repeatedly, would be favored to beat any lightweight in the world, and in under 2 rounds, he stops Charles Oliveira's winning streak at 11 and gains the lightweight throne. What a moment.
You know, unreal the way that Makachev was able to hurt Oliveira so many times on the feet. We talked all about his wrestling, the sambo, the jiu-jitsu, but it was the strikes that led to all of this. He was able to knock Oliveira down, and then once he had him hurt and had him just questioning himself for a second, he locks up this arm triangle. And like DC talked about, as soon as he even clears the leg, look, Oliveira's already tapping. That's the squeeze and the pressure that Islam Makachev has. And you know what's funny, too? You could see Khabib could barely contain the smile, even for the walkout for Islam.
Amazing moment. And of course, the late Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, not at all far from the minds of that team and fight fans around the world. He said famously before he passed, when Khabib leaves, Islam will arrive. The arrival is here in earnest. Islam Makachev, now the hunted, at 155 pounds. Charles Oliveira, ever classy and